At 30, Chase Elliott finally reveals the 5 drivers he feared most. Chase Elliott, Hendrick Motorsports' most consistent winner of the last decade, has identified the 5 drivers who presented his greatest competitive challenge. At 30, with hundreds of Cup Series races behind him, Elliott has named the competitors who demanded the most from him, the drivers who didn't simply beat him, but outthought him. What he revealed offers insight into NASCAR's most intense rivalries. Stick around for number 5. It's not who you might expect. Chase Elliott is a generational talent. 13 Cup Series wins, regular playoff appearances across his career. Yet in competitive racing, a distinction exists between opponents and rivals, between drivers you respect and those who challenge you at the highest level. These 5 drivers occupy that tier. As they pushed Elliott to evolve, they forced him to adapt his strategy and sharpen his craft. On certain days, they were simply superior. This isn't a conversation about win totals alone. It's about head-to-head competitive matchups and the racing that defines legacies. Understanding why Elliott identifies these 5 drivers reveals how elite drivers develop their craft and who drives their evolution. Joey Logano ranks 5th. His strength lies not in raw speed, but in strategic thinking. He competes 3 laps ahead, not in the present moment. Elliott and Logano have competed intensely across multiple seasons. Logano has engaged Elliott mentally, not through aggression, but through unpredictable decision-making. What made Logano dangerous was his ability to execute moves Elliott didn't anticipate. During the 2021 and 2022 playoff seasons, Elliott and Logano fought for stage points and playoff positioning. Logano's advantage lay in his decision-making. He took unexpected lines and calculated risks that suggested superior track awareness. At Vegas in 2022, Logano executed a bold move on Elliott exiting turn 4. Within the rules, yet aggressive. Elliott recognized in that moment that he was racing not just a competitor, but a strategic mind. That distinction matters. Logano earned the 5th position because he forced Elliott to rely on race intelligence, not car speed alone. In modern NASCAR, the smartest driver often wins, not necessarily the fastest. Denny Hamlin operates in a category most drivers won't acknowledge. He's capable of excellence and unpredictability simultaneously. That combination is difficult to counter. Elliott and Hamlin have battled across multiple seasons, on ovals, on road courses, in playoff races. What distinguishes Hamlin is his willingness to execute aggressive moves, not recklessly, calculated, controlled. Hamlin has more wins than Elliott. He's prevailed at tracks that favor Elliott. He's also collided with Elliott exactly when points positions tightened. He seems to understand exactly when to make a competitive statement. Racing against Hamlin carries a distinct intensity. He challenges the established order. He pressures when others retreat. He forces Elliott to continually recalibrate strategy. Hamlin has won a championship. He has more than 90 Cup wins. He's proven his ability to compete at an elite level across every track type and season. Every time Elliott lines up against him, both drivers understand, this will demand maximum effort. That dynamic places Hamlin at number 4. Kyle Busch occupies a different category entirely. Busch has 83 Cup wins. He's won in every conceivable condition, on every track type, across nearly 2 decades. He established the standard for elite performance in NASCAR. Young Chase Elliott watched him accomplish it. When Elliott entered the Cup Series, Busch was already at legendary status. For years, Elliott faced the pressure of proving he belonged in the same conversation. That's a distinct psychological weight. Chase grew. He became an elite driver in his own right. Yet Busch remained competitive. He still wins. He remains capable of dominating any given weekend with the right car. The rivalry between Elliott and Busch isn't dramatic or controversial. It's fundamental. It's about proving you're not simply good. You're capable of competing with the driver who set the standard. Busch forced Elliott to never accept adequacy, to always pursue excellence. because standing still meant falling behind Busch, and that was never an option. Busch doesn't just race you. He studies you. He identifies weaknesses and exploits them systematically. Elliott has had to become a student of racing, not just a driver, because Busch demands that level of commitment. That's why Busch ranks third. Martin Truex Jr. is number 2, and this matters. Truex doesn't possess the flashiest personality. He's quiet, understated. When he enters a race car, the intensity shifts, the focus sharpens. His results speak for themselves. Elliott and Truex have competed from road courses to ovals. They've battled in playoffs. They've fought for championships. What makes Truex dangerous is that he's never needed to discuss it. Truex operates from a clear philosophy. The track talks. Results talk. Trophies talk. His resume requires no explanation. Competing against Truex removes all noise. You can't outmaneuver him mentally. You can't intimidate him. You can only race him. And when you're racing Martin Truex Jr. alone, you'd better be at your absolute best. His ceiling is exceptional. Elliott respects Truex deeply, not from headlines or publicity, from being beaten by someone who was simply superior on that particular day. Repeatedly. Truex demonstrated to Elliott that talent alone isn't sufficient. You need consistency. You need adaptability. You need to be excellent on good days and dangerous on great days. Truex speaks through his driving, not his voice. That's infinitely more intimidating. That's why he's number 2. Kyle Larson is number 1. And this distinction carries the most weight because it's not historical. It's current. It's daily. Kyle Larson is Elliott's teammate at Hendrick Motorsports. They share identical equipment, the same resources, the same budget, everything. That's what makes it real. Against external competitors, you can identify variables, different cars, different teams, different strategies. But when your teammate, someone with identical machinery, operates at a different level, there's nowhere to hide. Larson has won at an elite rate in wet weather, in dry weather, on road courses, on ovals, everywhere. His versatility is exceptional. His raw speed is undeniable. His mental approach is ruthless. What makes Larson the driver Elliott fears most is that Larson represents what happens when you don't hesitate, when you don't doubt, when you execute at maximum capacity every race. Elliott has beaten Larson. Records show that. But the trend shows something different. Larson is ascending. He's becoming more consistent. He's raising the standard for what elite performance means at Hendrick. Larson doesn't just challenge Elliott in races. He challenges him developmentally. He demonstrates the willingness to take calculated risks that most drivers avoid. He takes those risks successfully. The sport's standard shifts because of it. Elliott is a generational talent. But Larson has forced him to evolve faster than any driver on the circuit. That's the ultimate competitive threat, not someone who beats you occasionally. Someone who forces you to become better simply to keep pace. Competing against Kyle Larson isn't about winning on Sunday. It's about evolution. It's about recognizing that every weekend offers a masterclass in what elite means. That's the most challenging opponent. There it is, the 5 drivers that shaped Chase Elliott's competitive journey. And this list reveals something about Elliott himself. Naming your competition, acknowledging your rivals, understanding what makes them dangerous. That's not weakness. That's clarity. That's the mindset of someone committed to improvement every single day. These 5 drivers didn't simply compete against Elliott. They elevated him. They forced him to sharpen his craft. They taught him that in NASCAR, excellence is a daily choice, not a destination. If this analysis resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Which driver do you think presented Elliott's greatest challenge? The conversation continues there. Thanks for watching.